Come on. Yo, this that spooky shit, that real, that's right. That GMSONIC shit. Hey yo, Mr. Clean. Shout out to Dracula Presley. Corval. Johnny Slash on the beat. Hey yo. Yo, it's the GMSONIC show. Phantom opera flow, permissionless, immutable, unstoppable, spectacular. Gather with Corval and Dracula. Abracadabra, flip shit like a spatula. Few Andre Stan, the master of memes. DeFi king, half man, half virtual machine. No other team can match the collective expertise. No other chain can achieve the supersonic speeds. Home with the most creative tech. What's your favorite decks? Spooky swap, equalizer baits over next. And when I place my bet, I never break a sweat. Worship the open source code like sacred text. Rest assured, battle tested and ready for war. I check the bribes, cast the vote and collect the rewards. Knock at the door, trick or treat. Move like a zombie, but usually I stay cooler than Fonzie. I get surgical with this, call me Dr. Doom. Break the sound barrier, hit you with a sonic boom. We got it wrapped like a mummy in a tomb. It's about time we address the elephant in the room. It's called Sonic. Yo, what's the new hot topic? GMSONIC. Straight up alpha, you can get it if you watch it. GMSONIC. Yo, what's the new hot topic? GMSONIC. Straight up alpha, you can get it if you watch it. Yo, since the Genesis block, consensus didn't stop. Innovating since day one and never missed the plot. I'm just a humble yield farmer, tending these crops like a routine. See you at the next epoch. Ayo, the DeFi Renaissance, yeah, we were part of that. Your favorite dap, Phantom is where it started at. Go to Paint Swap and cop an ancient artifact. Let's run it back so we can 20x the market cap. FTM's the pre-sale, S is the ticker. It's best to zoom out so you can see the bigger picture. Brand new tech, brand new insignia. No trivia, we stacking more chips than Nvidia. Graduated from Halloween to a sonic theme. The dead chain resurrected, make you wanna scream. Due diligence, follow the new primitives. Controlled by the citizens, built to move billions. Your mass adoption, that's the only option. We ain't stopping till we locked in the top 10. Who got the best community? Who got the most promise? Who got the most pumponomics? Phantom and now Sonic. Yo, what's the new hot topic? GMSONIC. Straight up alpha, you can get it if you watch it. GMSONIC. Yo, what's the new hot topic? GMSONIC. Straight up alpha, you can get it if you watch it.
Call anonymously.
You call anonymously!
I can't. They know me. They know my voice. They'll know me. Please, you gotta do it for me.
Previous bull markets topped within 18 months of Bitcoin halving. We're at 16 months. The clock is ticking. Will history repeat, or is the death of the 4-year cycle finally here? If you're a traditionalist, now is the time to exit and take profit on core positions. Why is this time different? We finally have the pieces. Crypto-friendly administration, Bitcoin ETF, multiple ETFs rolling out, capital flows from top to speculative assets. We've yet to see true alt season like previous cycles. I believe we're in a cycle that will break the traditional 4-year mold, an extended bull market going higher for longer. Welcome to the super cycle.
Hold on, my man got on them da 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 da. Now there used to be a crane tower alone on the sea until he became.
Sunset 太陽が沈んでいきます。君も今沈んでるって言ったよね。ふざけんじゃねえよ。この太陽と君の気持ちは違うぞ。太陽はね、今から一度沈んで新たな思いでやってくるから沈んでいくんじゃねえか。沈んだままだろ君は。起き上がらなきゃ大丈夫。なぜなら君は太陽だから。
Damn, life's so short. Fuck it, I don't wanna go to court. Fuck it, got a budget for the lawyer though. Fuck it, I'm on the run for the month. Woo!
Come on! What's his name? I can't hear. What's his name? Hosanna! Forever! We love you! Hosanna! We praise you! Hosanna! You're worthy! Hosanna! You're worthy! Hosanna! We love you! We love you!
Praise. Good morning, Sonic. How's everyone doing?
GMSONIC.
Good morning. Man, a lot going on this morning. So
Yeah.
far away, right?
It's Green Candle Day, dude. It's the Green Candle Day. It's everyone's favorite day of the week. Everyone's going around posting their positive P&Ls on the timeline. We get to forget, even if just for a moment, all those red candles that we had to suffer through.
All the candles before have led
Yeah.
us to this moment.
Feels great.
Yeah,
Look at
I was just gonna pull it up real fast because classic Ethereum wick right here. They were like, no, we're getting too close to all-time high. It's time to sell.
Yeah.
But if you move your eye over here, this is the important part. Everything is green.
Everything else, dude. That's the important part. Is that I'm seeing people screaming alt season already. A little too soon, maybe.
Yeah.
But it feels right. It feels good, don't it?
I think we're not in alt season yet, but we're a thirsty bunch. It's finally got a little water, right? Like
Yeah.
just something.
There's a taste of it's possible.
Yeah.
There's a fraction of Ethereum's power.
Yeah, what you're seeing here is what things could be every day if we entered alt season.
Yeah. If everyone would just start acting right in crypto and crypto Twitter.
Yeah, I mean that's really most of the problem. It's just people's bad attitudes, It's just they just need to buy more.
They're buying all kinds of junk though. They're not buying the right stuff, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess if anybody was wondering what was going on, it was pretty big news in terms of this is funny how the market is, right? Everything has become so contingent on these rate cuts that nobody has come out and said the rate cuts are coming next month. It's just that Powell's statement was a little more on the ominous side. Probably more than anything else he's ever said. So, it could always happen that next month comes and the day before he's like, no, I took a look. No. But right now, mostly what he's saying is that they're becoming concerned with employment and they're going to ditch kind of like this inflation target framework in lieu of the employment numbers starting to, not look great to them.
Yeah. Hey, so does this have the quote he said, like his specific quote?
Yeah. So Yeah, basically, he said, with the shifting balance, it may warrant adjusting policy. Suggests that the downside risks to employment are starting to rise, which is, making him uneasy. The labor supply is softening. But the biggest thing was that, he said that the Fed was abandoning the flexible average inflation target. So basically, like we were talking about this before the show, how like when the Fed kind of has this way of adjusting numbers where they make adjustments and then they hold out as long as they can until something breaks. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of what's happening here is they've held out for this inflation number. And what you're starting to see is, you're starting to see it affect employment. So they're now like, okay, now we have to, shift the scale here or whatever. So take that as you will. Like I said, it's still not him coming out and saying like it's on, but pretty close.
Yeah. He's saying it's on
that way.
Yeah. It's trending that way, or it's like it's on the table again.
Yeah, it's on the table and it's trending. That's a good way to look at it. It is obviously he's very careful with what he says and he doesn't say. So
the Oracle out of Jackson Hole, Jerome Powell, dude. That's crazy, man. He's got a tough job though, and it's kind of scary when you guys think about it, right? Like because what he's saying is like we got to abandon the target we had for inflation because another problem is becoming more severe. So like, that'd be like the doctor saying we got to stop worrying about like your cold because you have the flu too, or whatever. Like we've got to shift the medication. So I mean, short term, great for us. Short to medium term, great for us. Long term, outlook uncertain.
Outlook uncertain.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we were also talking about is we're in a complicated relationship here because everybody knows this is going to pump our bags. But on the flip side, we're going to most likely further diminish the dollar's power. So my advice is if we get alt season, make it count.
Yeah. Get alt season, make it count.
Yeah. Hit
Seize
the sell
the
button. Yeah.
Maybe hedge your passport. I don't know. If all of a sudden says sell your house and your car full port Sonic and pump his bags.
Yeah.
That seems to be the typical strategy right now. That just made me think real quick. Real quick, like trivial note here is I saw a post saying that building a new house for the first time ever is cheaper than buying a house, which is kind of getting crazy. So yeah, another sign that things are getting a little weird, dude. Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah. I mean, obviously it's never happened in history, but that's like really kind of a scary, strange thought that you could buy a house or buy a brand new house and it'd be cheaper than like, buying something existing on the market. So
yeah, weird, right? But yeah, strange times we're heading into. But crypto's a strange technology, and it's for this very strange time, right? We kind of knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, for sure. So we got a lot to cover today, but I figured without wasting too much time, we got a special guest today.
Let's go.
Yeah, he goes by the name of Stinky. Hello, Stinky.
What up, Stinker? Whoa, dude!
Yeah.
The man himself.
What's going on, guys?
There's another layer.
Dude, I love it.
And everybody wanted a face reveal. I do love my privacy, so I think this is kind of like a good medium, so people can get like a little bit more of a insight into me, and I can have a little bit of my privacy.
They can see your lips.
Awesome conversation. You can see my lips. Oh no.
Yeah. So gonna run that through a database of IDs and
I'm sure there's AI like lips
tracker.
AI that can go find me somewhere.
Yeah. So what's been going on?
Restore your face.
Yeah, you know what? It's the blur. Let me try to like talk really close to the camera.
Dude, that's so cool, dude. I didn't know we had an actual luchador building on the network, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
not many are not saying this. You know,
I think this would be a good way for a lot of people who like to have their privacy and want to come on shows like this and be more connected to the community. Maybe wear a luchador mask. I mean, this is Penta El Cero Miedo. I'm a big fan. That's for Jordy. Yeah, what have I been doing? Well, we've been working with Ruggie for a while. We launched on Phantom, migrated over to Sonic. We helped a lot of the other tokens in the meme community migrate over as well. And on the Phantom side, we actually launched a raffle launch pad. It was called Rug Pulls at the time, and we've done a 2.0 version now. We call it Ruggle. We rebranded because Rug Pulls wasn't very user friendly to use. And we've added more game modes to it, so you can kind of do more things with raffles, and the community's kind of had a lot of fun creating new use cases for it. Some of the stuff is like a charity fundraiser. Paleo Zombie did that, and he raised money for St. Jude. Some smaller projects are raffling off NFTs and using those funds to raise LP. So there's a lot of cool things that they're doing with just basic raffles because we've given them many configurations for it. And I love to see all these new use cases by different communities being done.
Yeah, man, this is very impressive. And, gotta say, that was very kind of you, your work you did at Migration Time. Everybody was kind of scrambling and panicking.
Yeah.
And, a lot of, I would say a lot of the meme tokens, probably most of them used your system. So
yeah, a lot of them did. It's try to help as many as I could. A lot of them, waited till the last minute, and it's a developer. It's like, especially in the Web3 space. I got threatened to be sued, and it's not the first time, and it won't be the last time. All you're trying to do is do a service to help people over, but it's so it goes. You're just trying to help Sonic out, in the meme space. They definitely have a lot of support on the DeFi side, and I think the memes need to work together a little bit more. I know they love to fight, but you got to build something up before you destroy it, So.
Yeah, we gotta pump everything and get it all built up.
Yeah,
and we can get some beefs going.
Yeah,
exactly.
Memes are a true grassroots approach. I think the meme communities need to study, the Communist Manifesto a little bit closer, dude. Learn how to organize and work together and pull themselves up. But no, Stinky, I'm curious more about so you were mentioning like the raffle thing that you built on Sonic or on Phantom, right? So it's not on Sonic.
Well, we built it on Phantom to start off, and we had some features that I thought were cool and unique. Like, for example, whenever you enter a raffle, you would receive an NFT as an entry ticket, and that made your entry liquid, right? So let's say, for example, you buy a raffle, it doesn't sell out right away. And originally you couldn't finish the raffle until the timer ran out. So let's say, for example, this is going to take another week or two and you had some sort of life emergency, you need to raise liquidity, you didn't want to get liquidated on a loan or something. You could trade it out, even if it was like at an 80% value over the counter or something, right? The community feedback was we don't like it. It's flooding our paint swap galleries. So I was like, I hear you guys. We got rid of that. We also added the ability to have more than one winner on the new version, which is Ruggle. Right now, what you're seeing is the Ruggies website. I believe somewhere on here there would be a link to Ruggle itself. But essentially, it's just games.ruggiespizza.com. And here you can see, we started on Phantom with a set supply. The team members, myself, Adarev was a co-founder. We later on added Ronan. Very happy with that acquisition. He's really added to the team a lot of value. And some of this art, he started off as an artist, and he's really expanded by like helping design some of this stuff that we're doing and some of the future projects we're doing. So I like for you to freeze right there. You can see we have 3 different game modes, right? The one in the middle is raffle. That's the one that originally came out. We made some updates, and now through more community feedback, now that we're on the 2.0 version on Sonic, the community has expressed that they would like to go back to the older version. That never happens, right? They only like the new stuff. No.
Yeah.
So we're going to go back. We're going to leave these 2 game modes up. We're going to experiment to see how the feedback is, because one of the other use cases that people were doing, and TJ.Sonic, I think he goes by on X, he did a really cool thing with these raffles. He would create a raffle, and then he would buy his own tickets and then farm engagement on X and go, hey, if you do this and this and that, I'll give you a ticket so you can win this prize. So there's different kinds of use cases here that all kinds of projects are using. And then we have Ruglet, which is one of the ones that I personally like a lot. It's better for smaller games. Essentially it's like a reverse raffle. Think of it as Russian roulette if you guys are familiar with the game. You determine how many losers there is. There can be a 1v1 game mode. We have a bot for this as well on our Telegram, and in the group we like to play smaller games like, you know, 1 loser 3 people, or 1 loser 5 people, or 2 losers, and that way it's lower risk and, you know, a little bit more fun. And then the NFT raffles, that one's right now is one of our more popular ones. We had some great artists supporting us right now. We have Clockworky. I hope I'm saying that right. We've had Joa, Llama. A lot of people who are artists are coming in here, and then there's also a lot of people who are traders. So if you own an NFT and you want to trade it on PaintSwap, but maybe it's not moving, or maybe you think you can kind of game the system and get a little bit more than what you would get from the floor, it's been happening. For example, the new community LSD that we added yesterday, they did raffles where it was 1 wrap Sonic to enter, and they had, you know, they set it to max 1,000, but there's no threshold because you can also customize thresholds here. So you could say if the floor is 24, I'm not gonna let this go for under 24, and then in the event that it doesn't fill, then you get your NFT back and everyone gets a refund. But they didn't do one, and they said pretty much community market, set the price. And I think the floor last night when I looked, it was about 24 Sonic for each one. And I think some of them are going for like 30 right now with the number of entries. So they've done better than the floor. Yeah. I also want to give a shout out while I'm here, you know, to PaintSwap. PaintSwap is awesome. We're so happy as a community to have them on Sonic. We leverage their API a lot. It's great. It's open source. It's free. We use it to show people when they're creating a raffle what price the floor is, what kind of trading volume is going, so you can make an educated decision on how you create your raffle. And then we also load images from the PaintSwap API, and we use it to determine safety things. Like, for example, on here, you can create a raffle with any ERC20 that we whitelist. And the reason is that it's for security purposes, right? You don't want to have someone make an ERC20 that looks like another token and does some malicious stuff on the back end. So we whitelist. But on the NFT side, we have so many NFTs that come out and so many artists launching collections that we don't want to, you want to go down to the history. No one's been doing a ruglet lately. If you go down to the NFT raffle, we'll see a little bit more of that. This is where everyone's making stuff right now. So you can see the LSD ones right now. Like I mentioned, the floor was 30 Sonic on there. Sorry, 24, and this one's going for 30 right now. So as more people enter, I mean, they're already above the floor. We have Bonkers, someone's doing a whales coin. So the community is really active on here, and that's essentially what I wanted to do. Because with Ruggie, we have the build power, and people were reaching out to me and like, "Can you help me build like a raffle platform?" And I mean, essentially, a raffle is like the smart contract 101. I'm not going to pretend like it's something big, But I decided, what if I just built it in a way that everyone can use it and be inclusive instead of just, this is just Ruggie, and then someone's going to fork it and have it be the same exact thing with a different skin for another coin. So yeah, NFTs and tokens are in here, supporting all of the community. And like I mentioned, there's safety checks, making sure that the contract's verified and making sure that the contract is whitelisted on PaintSwap so that you paid. It's not a big fee through PaintSwap. And I think it's something good for somebody to know, because we had somebody make a fake NFT for, I can't remember the community, maybe it was like a THC one, but they made a fake NFT and made it seem like it was a catter, and people jumped in on it. And I was like, hey, this is not the right contract address. Yeah. So these checks kind of help. We'll probably need to add more safety checks in the future, but we're just trying to help people, because we have to cater to two sides, right? We have to cater to the creators, because we want people to create these raffles, and we have to cater to the players. So we want both sides to be happy, and we're just trying to balance everything out. If you actually click on one of these, like for example in the title, you'll be able to see who's entered some of these. We do have ENS integration right now, and the big thing is ENS is open source and free, similar to how I mentioned the PaintSwap API. We're working right now on the Sonic domains. We want to get that up on here. So if you go down, you can see some people like Triumphant Mang has a picture here, and some people have their .eth. I think having names kind of adds to this, makes it more of a game. But yeah, the other thing that we're doing here too is if you go back a screen here, that catter right there, we're doing something called the recession antidote, and I think people are kind of jumping in on what we're doing, and it's great. We are doing raffles for 1S. So we started off with a derp, and people jumped all over it. The cool part is somebody who's never owned a derp won it, and I like that. You know, having bigger NFTs that people can't necessarily afford off the bat, giving them a chance to win them, even if it's for 1S.
Yeah.
So someone won a derp, which is great. Then we asked the community, what do you guys want to do next? And they wanted to do a Metro NFT. Those are cool because they earn USDC from the platform. So we raffled those off. Both sold off immediately. Just before coming on here live, I launched this one for Catters, which is what the community wanted next. So yeah, it's live right now. There's only been 13 entries, and it only costs 1S to enter. We're not really making a profit here. We're trying to just have more funds to keep this going and buy the next NFT and just do it over and over again and kind of get the community going.
Yeah, man.
Right.
I mean, yeah, I mean, like raffles are a great way for, you know, it's a great idea for NFTs where, you know, unless it's like a special 404 or something, it's like NFTs are generally illiquid, you know?
Yes.
You have to find a buyer. And yeah, I mean, what's cool about this is it's like, everybody wins kind of, you know, because somebody by only having to buy a raffle ticket or two or however many they want, they are, you know, going to pay less than they would buy it on the market. And hopefully the person that's got it for sale is getting something close to the floor, or in this case, you know, there's people getting more than the floor. So it's like the trade-off, everybody kind of wins, you know?
Yeah. And I think that's a lot of tokens suffer from this, where it's like they launch, they have the hype, and then things slow down. They're like, well, what now? I don't know how to build. I have to go, you know, talk to somebody and ask them if they'll build for me. So having something like this, well, all you have to do is, you know, initially what we were trying to do is make it more decentralized, and we had our TART NFTs vote to see who gets whitelisted. And some of the projects are doing cool things like airdropping those NFTs, some of their tokens. What I told them was, hey, if you're going to do that airdrop, make sure to create games right away so that you get them playing with it. You know, you don't want them to go sell it and have a bunch of time between the games. So people were creating games. The airdrops are going, but I think the market kind of slowed down a bit. We're hoping that with things moving up, we're going to have more activity. But, you know, if people on Sonic don't want to vote with their NFTs, that's perfectly fine. I think it's just a style of utility. If you rather just trade, then we'll handle the whitelisting. But, you know, I know whitelist can be kind of controversial sometimes, so I just wanted to take that off my hands and let the community vote on it.
Yeah,
bro, this is awesome, dude.
Thanks,
Very
man.
fun, simple tool. It's cool, man. Very
Exactly.
flexible.
Like a little game.
Yeah,
Exactly. If you go to the Ruglet one, we added some animations to it. When you first load up and create a game, if you want to click on history there for me, and then just click on any of them. There's the Razors ones. Razors and Blade NFTs they're great.
Okay, that's awesome.
When you first create a game, they'll just be sitting there like blinking, right? And there's a gun
Yeah.
in the middle, right? And at the end of the game, once it's resolved, so if you're the person who resolves this game, it's really fun. You get to see the animation go live. So you kind of see, like, you know, it makes it more interactive. And like I said, we have a Telegram bot so that people like to play on the Telegram bot as well too. Yeah, you know, essentially it's a launch pad, is I like to word it. It's a launch pad. You fill out a quick form. If a Corval, you want to go to one of the create lobbies. It's just a simple form you fill out. You pay a very small fee. I think we charge 1 Sonic to deploy this, and it's to avoid spam. And yeah, you can pick any of these whitelisted tokens. You know, we're inviting other tokens that want to come on here to either do NFTs or to apply to be whitelisted. It gives you guys utility. You can set your price, how many entries, the number of losers in this particular game mode. If you go to the NFT one too, that's a little bit more of an involved one. Yeah, it'll tell you that you don't actually own the derp, I think, so you can't really own enough derp to do it.
Yeah, I just have my wallet connected.
Yeah, I totally get it.
There you go.
But yeah, it's super simple. Like, it's under a minute to fill out. I've done it plenty of times. But if you go there and check this one out, this one's a little bit more involved. And if you're doing the NFTs, the way that I envision this and do it all the time is I have one tab for Ruggle, one tab for PaintSwap. It works really well together because you're going to need the NFT address and the ID. One day we'd like to build this out to be a better UI and UX where people can just select what's in their wallet, right now we're just starting off. But once you fill this out and you enter an actual valid address and ID, it'll load up the image so you can see that you've done it right, and it'll load up a section with a bunch of data related to that collection. So you can also verify that you've entered the correct information. And then down there you have like a threshold that's a little bit different than the other ones. So if it doesn't meet this threshold, then everyone gets a refund. If it does, then we're good. Just on different kinds of tools that people can do and customize.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, this is all really impressive, man. What's next for you guys? Like, what are you working on? What's in like the pipeline?
So as I mentioned, we want to get the raffles thing up and then figure out how we're going to handle this. Either we're going to keep the V1 version, go back to the V2 version, or do some sort of hybrid. We'd like to add more games to this. Corval having fun with it. Oh, but yeah, if you click right there in the paint swap collection data, you can see what I was referring to. Yeah, click that and it expands and it gives you information on there. So like, oh, this is the floor price, so they can make an educated decision. What should I make the entry value cost? And how many entries?
Gun. You can't trick them, dude. I can't trick them.
Yeah. So aside from that, we're actually, I have a little bit of alpha on the. I don't know if you guys remember Phantom. So for those of you who were around in Phantom, there was a project that we collaborated with another team that was called Futures. Well, the developer of Futures, the front-end developer, is now back. He took a little time off, and he's reached out, and looks like we're getting back on track to build Futures. So Futures is a futures market. Mm-hmm. Something that I think we could definitely take advantage of is this Ruggies system that I've created, where you have a factory that just outputs smart contracts for games. You fill out a form on it, and then you have your games separately. And I want to do that with Futures. Essentially, what we're going to looking at is if we can do the Ruggies model, where you just fill out a form to create a market, and there's going to be different types of markets. I think we're going to start off with a binary market. Essentially, it's a yes or no, true or false, the most basic one. Then we're going to expand to do things like multiple choice, so you can have multiple options so people can bet on, and then eventually add things like a private one. So if Corval and Drac want to take a bet on something happening with the Fed, they could do it privately and not have to worry about someone else coming in there and sniping what they're setting up. So different kind of game modes like that, similar to how we're doing on Ruggies, and these things could connect together. We're working on with the THC team to do that, and kind of goes back to it. Like, everybody wants to fight on the meme space. I totally get it. It's so fun. I love fighting with people. So whenever you guys come talk smack to me, I love talking smack back. It's my favorite thing to do. But we can't destroy these things yet because we haven't even built it up. So let's build it up so then we can fight. If there's no ring and no bleachers for people to watch these fights, we're just like, fighting in dirt. Come on, guys.
Right on, dude. Totally right. You guys, we should be fighting outwardly, right? Unite and fight outwardly, and then in fight once we win.
It's true. Everyone likes fighting, and I totally get it. I like to fight too. So I mean, it's just comes with the territory of memes, I think.
Yeah, but thanks for the alphas thing. That's awesome, dude. That's a very interesting idea here. So an expanded kind of like games market, like a lot more kind of betting games.
Yeah, and this is definitely how I wanted to get started with the community, is doing meme stuff. Before I dive into the DeFi stuff, I know I've mentioned, if some people are keeping track, that I've mentioned that there would be a DeFi protocol coming to Sonic. I still want to do it. It might be delayed, essentially. It's called Pay Zero. It's a fork of the Alchemix V3, and I think it would just be great for it to be on Sonic. I'm a big fan of Alchemix. For example, my brother took a loan on Alchemix to buy his fiance's wedding ring. He eventually paid it off on his own. But there's some use cases there, and with the V3, I'm not allowed to talk too much about it because only what they've made public. And one of the things that they made public is you can borrow up to 90% of your collateral, which I think is huge.
Yeah.
And not just from a user standpoint, but from a protocol standpoint. Like, imagine you launch a token, right? And you borrow up to 90% of the money that was raised, and you put that into LP, and then the rest is growing. So eventually, if that rest of it's being paid off, you have a bigger treasury. You're not kind of siloing yourself off to the initial amount. So there's different cool things we can do. Alchemix is working very hard on it. I'm not trying to rush them at all on what they're building. It takes time. So they'll be, I think, projected sometime in Q4, and then they're going to want to, do their launch and do their things, and then we're going to work together on bringing that to Sonic. They essentially have multiple chains, and they've said that we can't be on every chain with the team size that we have. And I said, well, hey guys, I have a good relationship with you guys. I love Sonic. Why don't I help bring this to Sonic? So that's kind of where we're at right now in the conversation phase, and we're trying to figure out how to do it right before we kind of fully commit to everything. But I think it would be a great addition to Sonic.
Sweet.
Yeah,
sure. Dude, that'd be awesome. Huge. Alchemic stuff is crazy. The self-paying loans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, the ability of 90%, I mean, it's going to take a lot longer because you're over leveraging to pay it off, but it's kind of cool that you can do up to 90%,
Yeah, that opens a lot of doors in terms of capital efficiency and that sort of thing.
They're doing a bunch of other things that I can't talk about, but it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Coming soon.
Hell yeah, dude. Well,
listen to Stinky.
Yeah, guys. Well, next up, what do we got to cover next, Drac? I mean, I feel like unfortunately, we got to move past Ruggies Peaks. We got to leave Stinky in the past, unfortunately, for now. But Stinky, we got to bring you back, dude. You got plenty of.
I would love to come back, guys. I'd love to do a follow up.
Yeah, you just come back just to chat sometime. Yeah, man. Thanks for coming. Nice to finally have you on here, and we will get you back really soon.
Bye, Ruggie.
Thanks
Bye.
for coming.
Thanks, Stinky.
Thank you.
That was awesome. True Blue dyed in the wool community members, what it feels like, because the project links so tightly with so many other community projects.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he's just like been in the trenches for a long time. He's always putting out new stuff. He's always working on stuff. He's always helping people. So nice to finally have him on. Great contributor to the community, for real.
Yeah, Smooth says, someone open a window, get that stink out. For a guy named Stinky, he's really nice. It's crazy. No one, I was expecting him to come in from a trash can or something, but it seemed quite nice.
Nice fellow.
But what guys, what else has been going on here? What's next? We got to talk Sonic related stuff more here, right? Or we got to go general.
Yeah, let's go general.
Yep.
I guess, probably what a lot of people are hoping to tune in on. There was the first big governance proposal. I'm thinking let's see. I'm thinking, will we start with the announcement or we just go to the article?
We can just go to the article, right?
All right, let's see here. Let me switch tabs. Yeah, so I mean, basically, I had this article in regards to the governance vote. Is a big one. Basically, there was three main things in the proposal, and all of them have to do with Sonic expanding into the U.S. markets. It's good timing with everything that's happening with Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs, and there's a lot of stuff. You're already seeing like Solana ETF is really, really close here. There's a Cardano, there's a couple other ones coming. So I think it's a good move to begin to, get your positioning for, what could become a gold rush here in the US market. And there were a couple things I wanted to explain more because essentially I think that, what it proposed, and these are big numbers, so I understand like kind of people knee-jerk reaction. It's saying that so there's going to be an ETF, right? There's going to be a NASDAQ pipe, or also known as a DAT, and I'll chat about that some more here in a second. And then the third part is funds for basically the actual Sonic expansion into the US, which would be an office, a US team, US CEO, the whole thing. So what I was going to say here was, it's 50 million for ETF allocation, 100 million for the NASDAQ pipe. But what I wanted to say here was the ETF is, pretty straightforward in terms of, most people know what an ETF is. They already have a custodian set up, which is BitGo, which they are, maybe the biggest crypto custodian out there, if not the biggest, it's up there. It's a big custodian. I mean, they secure over $140 billion worth of assets. And they also do have a provider that is already worked out, but that's kind of a legal thing. They can't actually disclose the provider quite yet while this is still getting voted on. But yeah, I mean, it's set up. I mean, you have the custodian, you have the provider. So what I was going to point out, for instance, on the ETF, 50 million allocation, is that this is used for the liquidity pools, because you have to have actual liquidity for the people, for the ETF provider to have access to, so that people can invest in the ETF. So that's not hitting the market, right? That is for the ETF liquidity. Moving down to the pipe. The pipe is also like an instrument that it's different in an ETF because it's sort of more like something akin to like a reserve. Like you're trying to, you're building a reserve that can earn yield and everything else too, that investors can tap into. But it also lets, trying to think what the best way to say it is, like it allows people to invest in you directly. Like kind of almost like a OTC or something would come to mind. And those tokens are locked on like a vested schedule, like, the same way you would for somebody, bigger investing in your company. So something to keep in mind there on the pipe or DAT is that these funds are also locked up and only used for this. So yeah, that's the big one. That's 150 million. So you got to think that, so far that's 200 million out of the whole thing. That's like, either locked up or vested or, whatever. The third one, it is the expansion into the US, and that requires, the things I was saying before. You have new people to hire, new leadership team, new biz dev, operations center. And, this is to, show that you're in the US, you're aligned, you are working within US policies. It's an important part of the whole thing. And something that's laid out here is that, a big thing that Sonic has accomplished already is native USDC and Coinbase. And, there's a lot of lending. There's a lot of emphasis on stable tokens, especially USDC on Sonic. For the US market, this is actually really good positioning because Sonic can showcase that they have a ton of stable token liquidity, especially USDC. It's the dominated regulated stable coin now in the US. So people, institutions, investors, whatever, you're going to see USDC just become more and more prevalent in discussions and what people are actually investing in. So it's actually really good positioning for Sonic, in terms of has been like this emphasis on stable tokens.
Awesome. Now that's a lot, dude. That was a lot. That was a lot to munch down on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
It took you a while to like go through all the points, but original article, like the proposal has been launched. So this is a really well explained breakdown.
Yeah, if you want to go to my article, it's just on my X. It just kind of explains the instrument. Even what I just did, being as wordy as it was, it's still just kind of a surface level. So if you go to my article, it breaks down what the instruments are, how it works. If you want to learn a little more, Danny says compliance is very important. I have a lot to lose and need clarity. I'm happy about this. Yeah, and I mean that's just a part of the whole thing. This is not like a fly by night thing. This has been in the works for months. So they're taking the time to make sure that everything is correct, with compliance. They got a bunch of people working on this. This is a huge undergoing. This is definitely not just like somebody assistant woke up and decided we needed an ETF and he's just throwing it out there. It's like, no, these are already well developed and well underway. So yeah,
Okay.
I mean, Yankee says doesn't circle their new chain arc that runs on USDC kind of negate that though. I don't really think so. There's going to be a Cardano ETF, brother. We got to get in the game. I mean, there's this is not going away.
So
I think it's actually a good, it's good to get started on this sooner than later.
yeah, because I want to talk about some of the well, Yankee, I don't think I asked this earlier. I think we can't talk about that. I think they can't talk about that because of like negotiations and stuff, right?
Yeah, I can tell you 100% that the CEO is not. Oh wait, I just clicked the wrong one. Yankee, yeah. I was going to say I can tell you 100% the new CEO is not selected yet. That is not figured out yet. So that is TBD.
Yeah. And then to follow Zone's points, in ETF cycle, Sonic needs to join the game. I guess. Okay, so that's kind of like let's talk about what there's like a mixed reaction to this. There's a lot of people really hyped about it, and then there's a lot of people very vocally against it. A lot of them saying for clarity purpose.
Yeah.
But let me try to summarize I guess the for case and then the against case. So the for case is pretty much follow Zone's point. This is an ETF cycle. Sonic needs to join the game. We've seen Bitcoin, Ethereum, and kind of like how things have always progressed in this industry. Bitcoin and Ethereum do something and everyone else has to follow. And if they don't follow, I mean, it's kind of like, getting left in the lurch is what it seems like, right? Or you're not keeping up. And like Dracula's saying, like Cardano's getting an ETF, like all of them are getting it.
Everybody's going to have one. I mean, and I'm not, and it's not just for narrative chasing. It's just that this is like a good example to me. And this isn't exactly the same, but if you're familiar with like crypto in Korea, it's like separate, almost isolated, untapped market. And people have their own campaigns that run in Korea that are separate than their usual campaigns. It's a huge market that you kind of have to position yourself in separately from your own operations. And to me, that's kind of what we're seeing the infancy of in the US.
Yeah.
This is a brand new financial instrument for, like large institutions, investors, and people love having new instruments to play with. And because it's been what, 30 years, maybe longer, since there's been actual new financial instruments. So it's the new shiny thing, but there's going to be a ton of money flowing into it. There's, like I said, it's a new sector, it's a new instrument. So in that regard, the US is in its own way. I mean, it's a fresh market. There's a ton of upside. There's a ton of potential.
So I think that kind of really answers, I guess, what is the one of the counterpoints, I guess, criticisms people have, questions people have is like, where is the demand going to come from?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Like, this is kind of what Yankee's saying here. My only concern about this is who or what is going to drive demand for this, like Sol, ETH, Bitcoin, et cetera, ETFs. They all have existing demand, which helps drive the demand for the ETF. Sonic doesn't really have that level of demand, so we'll create demand for Sonic ETF. And kind of what you're saying, Drac, is the view of the team is this. It's like, it's not quite, it's almost like a brand new product, right? Like these ETFs, these businesses are a brand new product and it's being introduced to a brand new market.
Yes.
So it's like the existing demand. You're like, when we're looking at our existing demand right now, we're looking at our existing addressed market. This is a whole new market that can now be addressed.
Yes.
It's like expanding, your McDonald's franchises from Florida to Georgia. Like these people don't even know you. They have no,
yeah, exactly.
It's a whole new opportunity to sell your product. That makes sense to me. And that really just clicked when you explained it that way. Cause that was a big contention for my question for me was, if there's not demand now, but I think you sell these things kind of different too. We're all kind of like in the crypto space. So we're thinking like, selling by like users, activity, that sort of thing.
And I mean, you summed it up. I mean, that's what I was saying with like the Korea comparison. It's like it's just a totally different market that you're entering. Sorry,
I think a great thing to add on Yeah, sorry to trying to interrupt, but I think this is a really great way to answer the kind of concerns and like how team was strategized on it, and also a pillar to add on to that or shed light on how traditional like buyers and traditional like finance they really work is that we are going to like one pillar of the whole US expansion is assemble a whole US team, and it's documented in the proposal as well. Like we will have like director of enterprises and director of like the BD team, like which is their job like be in the sellers and be in the picture and really to drive those institutional adoptions. And just for your information, like for example, Ethereum, they have a whole institution or enterprise team of more than 20 people. And their whole job is talking to those traditional finance, talk to funds, talk to your sovereign fund, talk to family offices and pension funds. And really the demand is to be created and have those people on board and have them to do it in the way that traditional money will be able to have access and understanding the value of the potential alternative assets, like a brand new investment opportunity. So like I felt like this is a really valid concern, but this is also, we take it into the considerations and put it a whole action plan here as the third pillar. And that like the team is needed to create such demand and just raising the awareness of a great like investment opportunity. And that's what other foundations has been done. So it's a whole series of actions that we can take through this proposal.
Interesting. So kind of like, when people always talk about like when marketing, that sort of thing, I think we're always thinking like the only way to get business when they're saying that stuff is like putting up an advertisement and like people coming in and doing your business. But kind of what you're describing for like this kind of industry, specifically the US financial markets, it's not really advertising. Like BlackRock isn't necessarily putting up ads to get business. It's a lot of this BD efforts, like having an office in the country that can direct people to a entity that they can purchase shares through, right? Yeah. So like exactly. That kind of BD effort, that's going to get the kind of price action that people want, is someone going out and selling to home offices that have like 100 million AUM and being like, here, get exposure to crypto through a new vehicle.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's you have to look at it that way, is that there's people out there that are looking to add to their balance sheet a certain percent of crypto, and then they're going to see all the financial products within that, and they're going to say, okay, let's go, of course, heavy on Bitcoin, heavy on Ethereum, but let's get a little bit of some volatility action. Yeah, let's do 1% of Solana, 1% of Sonic, 1%.
That's kind of how Cardano has been surviving, hasn't it? Is like because it's kind of older and it's been around for a while, that like it has that like, well, it's not Bitcoin, it's not Ethereum, and it's something kind of different, and it's old, so I'll just throw it in the bag too.
Exactly. I mean, a lot of time, so I think you nailed it on the head there. That you have to also look at it from that angle. That this isn't like there's just ads and then people are going to come use Shadow and hopefully we get a bunch of new retail users. This is really not the big picture on the US expansion, the big picture is the institution side.
So I guess the second part of the criticism or the critique is why does the dilution? They're like, why are you going to inflate? Why are you going to print so much S for this? What about the runway? Why can't you guys spend out of that?
Yeah.
So to me, there's like two things to this. It's like the question of like, is it worth the squeeze? Like this is a big spend. Is it worth it? Like, are we going to get the return on this that we're expecting? And I think the answer is like kind of obviously yes. Like it's possible. Like, I mean, like any kind of investment, there's like a risk. Like, can Sonic USA execute? But we all know US capital markets. Like, come on, dude. That's been the whole. That's what everyone's been wanting to get their fingers into since this whole crypto thing started. Is what it seems like, or at least since 21.
Yeah, I mean, it's what people have been asking for 10 years. It's always been the institutions are coming, the financial products are coming, and
but it's kind of like a 3-year bet, right? Like, because these things are locked for so long.
I mean, it takes some time, and I mean, like for instance, on the Pipe DAT instrument, like tokens get locked, and there's vesting, and there's some other stuff. But and I understand, the points on the treasury. And, to my knowledge, like what I've seen is that, they basically just separate these funds into different sectors. So the treasury is relied on for all the stuff behind the scenes, the research, the engineers, the upgrades, the updates, the equipment. I mean, it's a lot of stuff. I mean, people probably don't quite realize that. I mean, Sonic, I don't know the number off the top of my head, but I mean, there's like 40 or 50 engineers that work on this. There is 50. Okay. Yeah. Like 50 plus.
They're all PhDs, like professors and like top notch, research.
Yeah. So it's significant resources. So, when they talk about the runway, that's what they're talking about is they have the funds to fund the research and development and keep this thing going for a long time. So yeah, that's kind of where the separation is on the funds. And that's why they're looking to, raise funds this way.
Hell yeah. Very
I can
interesting.
share the screen here a little bit if you guys can see. Yeah, it's written in the proposal that there's a statement on the current non-as treasury positions and stable crypto assets are intact and securing the future decades of research, development, advancement. And obviously there are other like behind the scene like incentives and other like protocol network level activities. So it's like crucial to have those part as the fundamental that stay intact and like just keep operating for like years of sustainable operations of this network. And then this expansion is obviously on another bracket because we're marching forwards and having more activities that need to do and need to be like boo out for the whole like initiative. So I think it's a great way to catch it that we put it into different brackets, and like one is for the fundamental for everything we have been doing, one is for the new initiative and the new direction.
Awesome. This is interesting too, because I guess it's now clicking to me too that by maintaining this massive treasury and having like this essential commitment to like 30 years of development, that also is what makes the vehicles more attractive for investment as well, right? Like it's much more appealing to invest in, I mean, an asset, I guess, supported by this organization that has 30 years of runway than it is, one that just depleted itself entirely to be listed.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very interesting. Very, very interesting, guys.
Yeah. And now, I mean, like what I was just saying, like earlier, like, this isn't the only, this is a lot to talk about and a lot to take in. This isn't the only time we're going to talk about this. There's still a lot of information to come. There's still a lot of things we're going to talk about. We're going to have the team talk about it, so there's still a lot of stuff that is going to come on this that, we're going to chat about.
Okay. I think we're probably going to keep talking about this, but we got to move on because of time constraints. We should talk about this more on Tuesday. We're also going to have to talk about Flying Tulip on Tuesday because we got a lot to say on that, right?
Yeah, I mean, we have a whole other chunk. We got to do that just to go into the leaked pitch deck.
Because these are also kind of like really kind of connected. A lot of, I think, the ideas behind both of these endeavors are the same. So the master plan seems like it's really coming together. I wasn't even being that cheeky. So Yankee, we'll keep this in mind. We'll come back to this. But final word on it, because I want to end on a positive note. Elapse says the upside for Sonic as a traditional investment instrument is 100x better than something like Solana. TradFi going to be wet for this opportunity. A little vulgar there, Elapse. A little vulgar. I didn't read the whole comment before I pulled it up, but I saw that it was positive, so I should have put it up there. But let's we got like a few more minutes. What else should we pop off on next? We want to go Sonic ecosystem.
Yeah, why don't we go ecosystem?
Let's do it.
Yeah, because we got some good stuff on there.
All right. Want to talk about? Someone want to explain Mob Beats to me?
Well, maybe we'll start with something easy, I guess.
Okay.
I can give a quick roundup on the first phase of creator program. So for your information, the creator program has been an endeavor from the marketing team that they want to have like clippers, original video makers to spread the story of Sonic on all kinds of social media, including TikTok, Reels, YouTube Shorts. And the first month of the creator program, we received over 1,000 different submissions from almost 1,000 different submitters, like participants. And we just wrapped up the first season, not season, like the first month, and we distributed all the rewards to the people that has participated in. And there's a lot of learnings, just like we've seen some great art, great clipping program, and like great videos. But in general, there's we're wrapping up this type of creator program from now. And since we already distributed all the rewards, we're gonna launch another type of creator program along the line, but we'll have some variations and new informations regarding that. So stay tuned to like a Sonic ecosystem account, Sonic account, like our account, and keep going, keep rolling, see how creators can keep participating and spread the stories of Sonic.
Awesome. Yeah. So we're going to be seeing like a lot of this creator content continue to like come out over the next little while here.
Yes.
Huh?
Exactly. So since we have so many submissions, and we took us like almost a whole week to review all the submissions, because we want to reward the real quality and reward the people who make extra effort in such like content creations. So soon, like me or Louise, we're gonna put out a post and a thread showcasing all the great like videos and content we've received. So it should be like within a week, and everyone should appreciate all those stories and art that they put up with.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, I'm going to appreciate it because I'm going to be stealing some of that content for my show here, putting up, kill some airtime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Very
it's great.
cool.
Like it took me almost a week to finish everything.
Wow. Just like going through it all, like watching it all?
Yeah. We watched all of them.
Or there's like, well, what was like the best one? What's the one that
Me
sticks in your mind?
personally?
Okay, best one's
Okay.
hard. What's the craziest one you saw? Most memorable?
I think one memorable part is that I've seen a lot of real people like talking to the camera, and they rephrase the story, tell the tag, sharing the new initiative, what's like new, what's the program popping up on Sonic with their own words. And I actually got to meet so many people, and if like they're speaking to the camera, it's not only one video they're making a whole series on Sonic. And
That's
I
awesome.
find that part really impressive because a lot of the time, like when we're just in the trenches and seeing each other, talking to each other online, we just see each other as bots. We don't really envision a real human face, image, and voice, and character, and personalities to all the faces and like PFPs.
Yeah.
But watching those video made me feel like, oh, actually, this is a real community, and people are actually talk about Sonic in their own words and like trying to spread like what we're doing. And I can feel the real genuine passion from those videos. And that's one part. And the other part is that like there has been great AI art. Like they make like movies out of Sonic.
I got to see some of this stuff.
Obviously, there's help from AI, but you know how great AI has gotten these days. And there's like storyline commercial video, like a whole short form film on Sonic,
crap.
and it's animated. It's just very cool to me.
Yeah, that's crazy. Sounds very promising, though. I like this, like a nice variety of content. You got AI generated stuff, narrative stuff, people just talking to the camera. Yeah, really looking forward to seeing some of it. Maybe getting a little inspiration, even.
Yeah.
But yeah, Miumiu, I saw Drac had to drop off. I don't know how much time you got here. But if we want to go through a couple more ecosystem notes we got here.
Yeah, we should just cover all we want to cover today, and I got a couple more minutes.
Okay.
So we can
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's go for it because we got X33's market back on Pendle. Quite interesting there. So you can do some interest rate swaps. X33 has delivered an average 108% APR. That's pretty cool. Do you use Pendle at all, Miumiu?
Very limited, but I do read a lot about Penta.
Okay, so you probably know a lot more about it than I do. I've used it a little bit and I get burned. Oh, I'm not even sharing the screen.
Oh, I'm sharing it. You can
wait.
Put it on.
Well, we're both sharing it. I see. Let's do light mode. Okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah, so what does this mean for the people, Miumiu?
It means that there's great APR and it's time to make some money.
That's right. It's time to make some money off Pendle. So what you're doing is you're kind of just selling the yield or buying the yield at a discount here through Pendle. Guys, I highly recommend taking those Pendle tutorials when you land on the site, or maybe taking up some of Miumiu's videos on Pendle, because it is a little confusing. Notoriously, I
It
lost
is.
all my ETH at the bottom because I didn't know what I was doing on Pendle. Can you believe it?
Maybe since like F33 has been back on Pendo, you can have some position there.
Yeah, I can try again, dude. I can play
Yeah.
again with my X33. Very cool. Next up, we got Mob Beats. Want to explain it? Let's explain it. What Mob Beats is. Wait a minute.
Let me
Mob
try
Beats
to
is the one that appreciates over time, if I remember correctly. Mob Beats has continued to grow. Are you familiar with MA Beats?
I'm familiar with Beats.
Let's pull it up then.
Yep.
Sorry, here we go. Yeah. Okay, so let's refresh our memory here. So here's the untold story of MA Beats. Oh, this is the governance layer for Beats. Okay. So more than half of all the circulating beats now reside in MA Beats. This has been a long time. Beethoven's been around for so long. I remember when the token launched. It is crazy now to see the emissions starting to die down so much, like so much of the circulating supply starting to be captured. I'm excited to see where we go now. Long-term holders might be getting rewarded here, right? Yeah, so holders are very long-term committed, as we've seen. So MA Beats continues to climb month after month. So we're still continuing to see a consolidation. MA Beats community continuing to grow. 1,700 relics minted. Wow, really great for Beethoven, man. They've been around for a long time and continuing to stay strong.
Yeah, this is a great summary thread as well. Really show the positive and the unique side of the Beats community.
Yeah, telling their story. I love it. And then I want to cover this. This is quite important to me, specifically. 4 billion in volume for S in July. Monthly trading volume grew from 3.1 billion to 4.94 billion. This is extremely important for me and my assets. I don't know about you, Miumiu. That's right.
It's very impressive. It's just July, 1 month.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's what we really want to see. That means the chain is alive. Yeah, MA Beats is for the Phantom crew. MA Beats is the relic technology created by the Byte Masons. Correct. I remember this now. I was involved in this, in this saga. Now, yeah, Miumiu, this is kind of big because, there was some concern that volumes were dying off, DEX volumes were dying down. So to continue to see it rise is quite good for us.
It's riding the wave as the market. And obviously we see up and downs in the cycle, and this is how cycle works. And since like last month, it's also the airdrop time. It's like the general market has some different trends. And I'm pretty sure that we're riding the wave of the whole all season now.
Yeah, you think we're just kind of subject to the tide of the market at this point, right? We're kind of not really generating our own momentum at this point.
Well, it really depends because like the fundamentals are here, like the infrastructures are here, and the community is here, and there's sometimes just more appetite to really put it into use. And sometimes like when everyone is just want to touch grass and have some rest time, it's up to people's choices. But I do think that this is a really great signal showing that like onwards and upwards, right?
That's right. Onwards, upwards, to the right and up only. Very cool. And then the final eco announcement that we've got for today is Amalgam coming soon, which I think we talked to Amalgam, or we are going to talk to Amalgam again. Once they come live, they're Delex.
We should have them, right? We should have them on GMs.
Yeah, I think we had them already, and I think we should have them back, once they're fully live. Good stuff. Big stuff coming here. I'm like kind of like really excited, Miumiu. Sometimes I let the negativity get to me, you know, when I'm online on X, because my algorithm is optimized for like users. So I'm seeing what all the other
Mhm.
users are saying, and
Yeah.
they're depressed because their prices are down.
Mhm.
And I forget like how bright the future is here. Like we have all this exciting stuff like Amalgam coming to Sonic, and like what Sinky was talking about, we've got even more stuff coming in Q4. You know.
Yeah, like all the plans are coming together. And like stay tuned for next week's stream for real. Because next week we have a very packed schedules on very important issues.
Yeah, be sure to come back Tuesday because we're going to be talking about. I mean, that flying tulip thing. I think everyone really wants to see.
Right.
Now we're about at the end here, you know, but
Mhm.
we've got to talk about some general news. Nothing related to Sonic here. I've been trying to force this issue all episode because it's important to me because I missed
Mm.
this. Yeezy, did you buy any?
Unfortunately, I did.
You did? Oh no,
I did.
you didn't. You didn't go big, did you?
I didn't go big though, because by the time I saw the whole thing, it's already at like 2 bill
Oh
monkey
yeah,
coin.
yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, if like Trump did all that before, maybe I'll bid harder. But since like we've seen so many, grifting and like just crime altogether,
Hmm.
I still believe that he's a legend, and I do believe that like he's able to pull some great moves and like getting enough attentions and some liquidity. But I just don't believe that everyone will fall in the same trap as before.
Yeah, I would hope not, right? Because it does seem like it is the same team. As we've heard, Dracula's explained to us, got it confirmed from a couple sources. This is like the Avengers team of scammers. You got Hayden. You've got like, I forget what they call them, but there's some kind of cabal on Solana that they
Mhm.
snipe, like professional snipers. Like Yeezy
Professional
grabbed
side.
all of the scumbags and put them on his team. So it's a total
Yeah.
slaughter fest. You don't want to be like
Yeah,
this guy.
but it did went up to it's a
Oh, sorry.
oh
He put his life savings into Yeezy. Look at that.
oh my
Brutal.
god. He kept buying.
He was a believer.
He's a
Pull-
believer in Kanye.
Yeah, he believed in Kanye. And I don't know if he ever will again. But yeah, I'm
I don't
sorry.
know.
You were saying?
Yeah, but did you make your bet?
No, I didn't go in on Yeezy because when I saw it, it was like a couple hours after the launch, and I was like, "This is probably." I
Yeah,
didn't even look at the price. I was like, "This is probably already done." Okay,
it's
uh,
fine.
but I was shocked. I was very shocked when I went on to the Yeezy website because you can go there. I'll pull it up right now.
There's
Uh,
money.easy.com.
yeah, that's like his official like site for the token, right? But I was like,
Mhm.
they could even fake that, right? Like they would like if I thought his like account was exploited or whatever. When you go to Yeezys.com, like his actual website, let's say you
Mhm.
want to buy these weird shoes that look like what does this even look like? I
I
don't
know,
know.
slipper.
A weird slipper. It's got like a bulbous head. Let's just add this to the cart. Let's go to the cart.
Uh-huh.
Uh, look, you can
Oh, well,
pay
you can
with
pay with
crypto.
easy.
Yeah, coming soon. That's how I knew it was real. I was like, this is unbelievable. I can't believe he would do that. I can't believe he actually did it. Um,
He didn't even try to go with any stable coin. He's just gonna have people buy things on his site with his money that he printed.
yeah. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of sad too because it feels like because he has obviously gone like kind of crazy, in recent years. Mimi, you remember when Kanye had like a commune he made?
Yeah.
Yeah, with like the church and everything. This is like kind of similar. I feel like they sold it to him on the same way because like there were screenshots of the presentation going around, and it's like people on Yeezy can use it to build businesses and futures. They can build families and corporations and construct buildings and all this, like buy land and all this stuff with it. And it's like really crazy. The ambition is
Oh.
there, but I
Do
guess
you
we'll just have
do
to wait
you
and see.
believe in those like conspiracy theory on Illuminatis and stuff?
Uh, Depends on the day of the week.
Well, the belief is fluctuating for you.
Yeah, it's in
But
flux for me.
yeah, but I've seen like so many conspiracy series on like all those top tier Hollywood stars. They just
Mhm.
like, sacrifice or sent themselves to the Illuminatis, and they said that the old Kanye was old Kanye, the new Kanye is like someone sent from the Illuminatis. And after seeing him like really do all the crazy stuff and like playing all the games and just be bold, be him,
Mhm.
I feel like maybe he's from Illuminati now.
No, you know what? I'm with you. I actually, like when I say it's in flux, it's because every once in a while, I'll see something and it'll make me be like, wow, it's got to be possible, right? It's got to be true that there's like some weird conspiracy stuff going on causing this stuff.
Mhm.
Uh, like the
Yeah, I
Epstein
want
stuff
to.
makes you think Illuminati stuff a little bit,
It could be Illuminati. It could be something totally different, but it
Yeah.
could be shadow government. But I don't know if it's wise for us to publicly stating that we have some confirmation or believe in this.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, look,
Okay,
we're
but guys,
harmless.
we are reasonable people. It's we're like
Oh yeah.
logical, reasonable people working here. It's just seeing so many crazy rides in this market, in this industry, make you question and
Yeah, it makes you a little
curious
paranoid.
sometimes.
Mhm. Yeah, it does make you a little paranoid sometimes. But, I think that's pretty much all we've got to cover for today. So, I want to thank everyone for watching. And I want to encourage everyone too, if you have any questions, concerns, anything like that, leave your feedback, drop us a line, drop us a voicemail at 1904-FAN-FACT, or leave us a message at sonicfeedback.com.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us what you think about Flying Tulip. What do you think about the governance proposal or anything
Right.
else? And
Yep.
yeah,
And I
catch us
think
Tuesday.
you will be able to like pick the feedbacks we got and really address them in some like stream very soon.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun stream. I'm looking forward to it.
Mhm.
So until then, folks, we'll see you Tuesday. Be here. We're discussing Flying Tulip. It's gonna be great.
Flying Tulip, Sonic, Audius.
GMSONIC is Corval and Dracula Presley. GM.